Mumbai. This has been the city of dreams ever since it came into existence. It is the city when it comes to career. Every day, hundreds of people come here to come a little closer to their goals in life. It is believed that if one comes to Mumbai, they will surely become someone. This fast-paced city waits for no one, and yet everyone wants to chase it. Some of the most famous people have managed to make it very far by coming to this city. One of the major and most prominent unique selling points of Mumbai as a whole is its glamorous film industry, the beauty of which allures people and draws them to this city. This industry is leading when it comes to anything and everything, from fashion to talent to bedazzling our eyes with its glamour. But is it all sweet as honey, or are there bitter sides to it as well? Since the beginning of time, the Hindi film industry has always been something that the common folk look up to. The actors and actresses have been given the position of a god for some. For the public eye, films are a medium through which they can escape reality.
Reality can be whatever I want.
They are a world of unreal expectations, due to which the filmmakers have ended up promoting various kinds of social evils in this country and all around the world. One of which is sexism. Sexism refers to the prejudice, stereotyping, or discrimination typically against women on the basis of sex.
That's ridiculous. And poor things, that's too much pressure. More importantly, don't they realize that the cleverer they get, the lesser money I will make? That's not fair. That's just not fair. And we have hot and clever heroines. They're called heroes.
There have always been movies that, in the name of independent characters, represent a character who has an authority. That, in the name of lead actresses, feed us the idea of the lead actor's romantic interest.
₹250
पुलिस वाले को लूट रही है.
Women have been objectified and been portrayed as humans who are only fit to be a love interest or for an item number for a very long time. This may not seem like a huge problem when we watch one such film and have an opinion. But once you actually start looking at it, there seems to be a pattern. There seems to be an unplanned chart of how, with every film, the audience is being conditioned to believe in certain gender roles and beauty standards. Zoya Akhtar, a leading filmmaker, opens up about the sexism she faces in the industry despite of being for the same background.
Are you tired of being called a woman filmmaker? Because that seems to be the tag that...
It's just really funny. Beyond, earlier it used to be like, what do you mean? Now I'm just like, clearly you need to say woman because you're not being able to get over it on some level. Because what does it mean? I am a filmmaker and I'm a woman and I'm not going to change either. So,
if there are women filmmakers, and there are men filmmakers too.
But nobody says to Imtiaz Ali, you're a male filmmaker, or to Anurag Kashyap, you're a male filmmaker. You know what I mean? I remember being somewhere and someone was like, "Do you cry on set?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding?" That you've asked me that. Of course, I've cried on set, but I have worked with 4 male directors that have cried on set. And cried on set, not but they haven't got anything or something's just...
frustration maybe.
Something screwed up or something didn't go right. And it's not about howling. It's just about you really feel for something. Or you cry in relief that you got something. And there's nothing wrong with crying. It's not a feminine thing.
In order to gain more insight, we spoke to some artists that are closely related to the industry to get their views on the matter.
My name is Aditi Sharma. I'm a director of photography, or in simpler terms, a cinematographer in the film industry.
I'm a director. I've been directing television, web shows and films for nearly around 20 years now.
My name is Satyanshu Singh. I am a filmmaker. I also teach. I teach cinema, I teach screenwriting.
Because the women are not writing them. The powerful women characters will come when we see a lot of women writers come in. There's so much of male gaze, like we talk about. So when the characters and the stories are being written by men, and when they are being directed, these films are being directed by men and they're being shot by men. So it's very difficult to really get away from the male gaze. So it's if we need to really address that issue, we need to get more women to produce these films and more women to write them.
The lack of powerful and female characters is a little late to ask this question because last year there were a whole lot of female-oriented films releasing, and a whole lot of films did well also. And powerful characters, as in it depends on subject to subject. If you are making a Simba, then obviously you are concentrating and focusing on Simba. And if you're doing Manikarnika, then you're focusing on Manikarnika. So that's how the difference is.
The biggest problem with our planet is that it is run by men. The biggest problem in our planet is not population, not pollution, damage to the nature, nuclear threat, poverty. No, I think if women were, if not the main decision makers, if women were equal decision makers with men, this world would be a far better place. Our relationship with nature would be better. Our relationship with the class differences would be better. All the violence that we have seen over the last few days, it's just men. So broadly, if you ask me, why don't we write powerful characters on screen, powerful female characters? I think the answer is this. The answer is this world that we have created, which is run by men.
A lot of people put forth their point of views when it comes to this. A lot of people will make male-centric films which are promoting or glorifying patriarchy and not realizing it, and they'll just go on and say, oh, but films don't really have an impact. It's just a film, and that doesn't impact anyone's life. But I don't think that it's true, because films really are the things that people consume on a mass basis every day, and films do work subconsciously on people's minds, and they are something which are representative of our society, and then our society gets molded by what we watch. So it's basically both ways.
It depends on audience to audience, and it depends on how many characters you want to relate to. So if I am a very layman and I want to relate to a Simba, or I want to relate to a singer, or I want to relate to a character which makes a huge difference into society, then if I'm a male, then I will obviously relate to a male, and if I'm a female, then I'll obviously relate to a female. But that was happening 2 years back. Now in this scenario where a lot of films which are female oriented are working for both the sections of the society. So right now the patriarchy is getting on the lower side of it.
The biggest contributor is our inability to understand what is right and wrong. Because I am confident that a lot of people who do certain things in our industry, a lot of them do it without realizing that it is wrong, without realizing that it is bad. So the problem is, the main cause is that we don't understand that there's something wrong with a certain approach. Like, we are presently working on a film, and there's a song in the film, and the lyrics of the song are not obviously sexist, but it is not for me to judge. I can't say that no, the lyrics is not obviously sexist, it is okay. I should not be judging it. And hence we are trying to get a female lyric writer on that song. Because if she writes the same lines, then we can say that okay, we involved her and it is her point of view. So I think the biggest problem is that we are not really talking about these things. We are not really questioning ourselves. Once we start doing that, I've seen this with myself. Once I started questioning myself, it became easier for me to do to try to do the right thing. So I think the biggest problem, the biggest contributor is our inability to look beyond our set patterns of thinking and our prejudices.
When we say there is sexism in the industry, we basically mean that the men are given preference over women when it comes to a lot of work, whether it's physically challenging, or we always think that men will be a better choice to carry on that work, and but strangely that seems to happen in a lot of other departments as well. So men are wary of having women in when it comes to film production or film direction. They don't think that women will be able to take a film and finish it.
Sexism in the industry, as far as characters and roles are concerned, it depends from subject to subject. So when you're doing a Simba, and a whole lot of audience is also male, no? So when I go to see my hero and I have to relate to the hero, then obviously the male dominant audience watches the male dominant subjects. And as far as the heroine oriented subjects are concerned, a male won't as far as relate to the character as he relates to the male character or the male protagonist. So that's why there is sexism in the sense, because the audience is also far more bigger. So that's why I think that now sexism is gone off and every film is washed upon its merits.
Sexism is there everywhere in our world. It's not just in our industry, it's everywhere. And since our industry is a part of our world, there is sexism in the industry. I think it is wrong to blame the industry, because the industry is a part of the world we have created for ourselves. Now, why we can still blame the industry is that mostly the industry is run by artists, people who like to call themselves artists, people who think that they have something to say, people who are intellectually, artistically, they think that they are more evolved than others. I think it's a symptom of a greater illness, and that illness is sexism in our society.
Sexism is clearly a deep-rooted problem. Having said that, we can't really say for sure whether people notice it or not. There are other problems too.
प्रॉब्लम ये है कि वो लड़की है, और क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
Others like objectification, homophobia,
तुम्हारा नाम जे मेरा नहीं, गे मेरा होना चाहिए था.
and normalizing rape culture.
तो रेपिस्ट 16 से 60 तक किसी भी औरत को नहीं छोड़ता. वो मुझे हाथ तक नहीं लगा रहा है.
वो बलात्कार करने की कोशिश करे, और ये खास किस्म की भावनाएं तभी पैदा हो सकती हैं जब वो लड़की 20 या 30 साल के अंदर हो.
Are just some of the social evils in this industry. But are we now capable of saying that there is a change that is being brought about in these upcoming films? Can we say that despite all these efforts, good quality movies often fail because the audience loves masala over content? The debate is never ending, but if one is willing, a change is certain in the near future.